Michael from Sport Auckland. I look after the green prescription promotions work in Auckland City. So today we're going to go through some exercises with the Swiss ball, things that you can do at home, or if you do go to a gym, activities that you can do on the Swiss ball there. Cool, so you may be thinking, well, I haven't got a Swiss ball or there's not one at the gym. They are relatively inexpensive. You can pick one up for $20, and all balls are not the same. They come in different sizes, so this one here is probably one of the larger types of ball. That's a 75 centimetre. You've got a 65 centimetre as well, and then probably the smallest that you want to go to is a 55. So when you're online having a look for a ball, just keep in mind the size of the ball that you want. For most people, probably a 65 centimetre is a great place to start. Cool, so we're going to move on to an exercise called the Swiss ball hamstring curl. This exercise is going to target your hamstrings, so the back of your thighs and your glutes, and also a little bit of your lower back. You're also going to be engaging your core muscles as well. So how we do it, hands face down onto the floor, relax your shoulders, lift your hips up off the floor so that your body's in a nice straight line. What we're going to do from there is draw the ball in with both feet towards your butt. Pause, slowly push the ball back out. Straight legs, pull the ball back in, pause, push the ball back out. Cool? So the idea of this is to do it nice and slowly so that you're contracting your muscles. Try not to do it too quickly. Keep in mind that the higher you have your hips off the ground, the more glutes and the more hamstrings you're going to be working during the exercise. I'd suggest maybe building up to 15 repetitions. If you're a new one to this, probably start off with 10 reps. Right guys, the next one that we're going to move on to is a hip bridge. I'm going to do this on Swiss ball as well. So it's going to be working similar muscle groups to the hamstring curl. It's probably slightly easier than the hamstring curl, so if you are new to Swiss ball movements, probably better off to start with this hip bridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll ourselves out, so walk yourself forward, okay, into a position where your head is relaxed on the top of the Swiss ball. You want to try and keep your chest in line with your hips and in line with your knees. So what we're going to do from there, hands on the chest, lower the hips down towards the ground, keeping your shoulders on the ball. From there, we're going to push your hips up towards the roof, pause, lower the hips back down towards the ground. Okay, we're not going all the way to the ground, push your hips up to the roof. Try to squeeze through your glutes and your hamstrings, okay? The weight should be in the heels of your feet. So how we're going to do it, we're going to start with the Swiss ball nice and close to your hips. From there, we're going to have our feet against the wall, so nice and flat, and then we're just going to lean forward onto the ball. Okay, we might have to push the ball back a fraction so that the ball is directly underneath your hips. Feet are pressed against the wall. We're going to put the fingers in behind the ears. From there, we're going to lower ourselves down towards the ground, and then we're going to slowly fold ourselves up using our lower back muscles. Pause at the top, come back down nice and slowly. Come back up to the top. Try and keep your chin in nice and close to your chest. Try not to arch through the back. Let your lower back muscles do the work. Cool. So for those of you that are guns at the plank, I'm going to show you a progression today using a Swiss ball. So it's the same thing, same exercise, plank exercise. We're going to put our elbows on top of the Swiss ball. Okay, so take two elbows. What we're going to do from there is just going to lift ourselves up while pushing the ball forward a little bit. Okay, we're going to be holding that plank position. So lifting up, and then from there, pushing the ball forward. Okay, so same exercise, holding your abdominals nice and tight, keep your head nice and close to your hands. We don't want to be in this position here. Try and keep your elbows underneath your shoulders. That's the best position that we're looking for. Cool, so what we're going to move on to guys is a progression of the sit-up or the crunch that you've been doing on the floor. We're going to put that on the Swiss ball. So one of the advantages of doing it on the Swiss ball is obviously we've got a surface which is a lot softer, and we've also got a surface which is less stable. So we're going to have to engage more of our core muscles to actually do the movement properly. Cool, so I'll show you how it's done. We're going to roll ourselves forward on the Swiss ball, Okay, so the position that we're looking for, the top of the Swiss ball should be sitting in the lower back area. Okay, not here with your hips down, and not right back here. Okay, so the Swiss ball should just sit comfortably in the lumbar area of your spine. Okay, you're going to take the fingers in behind the ears. Okay, not clasping them in behind the back of the head and doing this sort of thing. We don't do that. Okay, so fingers in behind the ears. Going to keep the chin into your chest. What we're going to do from there is we're going to fold back over the ball. Then from there, we're going to come up into our crunch. Hold the position. Slowly come back down. Nice and slow. Controlled. From there, we're going to pull back to the top again. Crunch. Come back down. Nice and slow. Okay, so you'll see that when we're coming down, we're actually going below 180 degrees. So it's not a short crunch, we're doing a nice long crunch. So we're activating the upper abdominals, activating your lower abdominals, and because we're on the ball, we're also using obliques and your glutes. Cool guys, so for those of you that need a well-deserved stretch at the end of the session, this is an alternative that you can do for your hamstrings. So remember, we've worked them quite thoroughly. So the hamstrings being the muscle group down here. You can put your feet up nice and high, put the Swiss ball against the wall. That's going to take a lot of pressure off your lower back, as opposed to putting your hands out to reach up and to get your feet. So put your feet up nice and high, and then push with your knees so that your hamstrings and your knee joints are nice and straight. You should feel a really good stretch down through the back of the legs there. If you're anything like me, I'm a bit tight through the hip flexors. Most guys tend to be. Also, if you are in a sedentary job where you're sitting down a lot, your hip flexors will generally be really tight. So the hip flexors are the muscle group from the top of the hip there, which move down into the top of your thigh. So we really need to stretch those out to open them up. People who have tight hip flexors actually do experience quite a bit of back pain as well. So that may be something that you can work on in your sessions. So what we're doing here is the Swiss ball is on the ground, the foot is on top of the Swiss ball, and we're trying to keep our thigh nice and straight, and we're trying to keep our chest up nice and high. So we should be able to hold that stretch for about 20 seconds. If you are finding that that's a little bit intense, you can move yourself a little bit further away from the ball so that the stretch is not quite so severe. If you're finding that's too easy, we can progress that further by reaching up with our arm and trying to reach it up to the ceiling as high as you can. So that should further intensify the stretch in your hip flexor there. So hold the stretch for 20 seconds, change to the other side, and go through that 3 times. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We have fit tips every month. So one of our healthy lifestyle advisors or promotions advisors will be taking you through some activities that you can do at home, you can do in the gym. Basic activities which don't require a lot of equipment. Remember to like us on Facebook and also share our posts if you can. Thanks guys, have a great month.